Wow, I'm alive. The lighting changed. It was all dark. And now I've got the live. They're telling me I'm alive. Yes, the DJ is here. Just got off work, pretty chilled out. Had some really good green, let's just say green stuff. Wow, that grows from the ground. Very good stuff. I'm going to ask some really good questions. So, I had a video taken down recently, the one that I did most recently. So, here's my first question. I'm going to ask good questions because I understand where we live. Um, Everyone has their understandings of things, like YouTube. Let's consider YouTube like our family. Okay? Maybe it's dysfunctional, maybe it's a good family, but it's a family. You're going to have issues. Here's my first question, because I think like children, and a child would ask this question. Here's my question. Why would you give the opportunity to allow freedom of speech on the internet to anyone, meaning good or bad, young and old? Why would you give a platform, a stage, like a theater, if you didn't want performers? So, my question is, if you're going to take down videos that you disagree with, we understand this. Why would you allow us to possibly wake up the world with strangers online? Good question. It's a good question. How many controversial things are said daily by your politicians? Okay, we know. That's all of them. Controversy, drama. You understand? And we watch this on the same thing that allows you to speak to a lot of people. It's called YouTube. You. Now, if I'm understanding what the you is, anybody, that's a freedom, right? That's a great freedom. But then the mouth opens, words come out, and it changes. And I'm like, what is that? That happens in your family, doesn't it? It happens in your family. 1 minute, everything is going one way. You're speaking, words come out. You're freely sharing space. It's Thanksgiving or it's Christmas. It's someone's birthday party. It's an anniversary. It's a reason to drink and we get it, and let it go and complain about somebody. Okay? So this is a freedom to share space with people. We have this in our culture. And we open our mouth and we start to say things. And it changes everything. Did anyone ever think to ask a question about why that happens? This is a good question. It's a deep question. This is a simple video. Okay, I've had crazy numbers appear today. It doesn't matter. You don't have to see those. But something wants me to speak today. So I'm okay with my video being taken down. I understand. I'm going to chill out. Chill out of the dome. Out of the body is what it means. For example, when you freeze to death, or if you get so frozen, right, you might have a stroke, your body is preparing to go out. You're going to release gases and fumes. The heat of your body is going to go intensely out. You chill out. Simple. You get out. But you want to live a longer life. You're supposed to be here as long as you can. It's not about how long you live, in my opinion. It's about what you do while you're alive. Okay? Great story about you, Jesus. Okay, great. Died young. 33 is young for a talented prophet. That if that same brain was here today, you'd want that one to live to be 100 years old and tour the entire world and make you feel good. And have a YouTube channel. Would your Jesus Christ, it's a good question, would Jesus Christ have a YouTube channel? What up, Led? La Forza del Destino. I'm asking good questions. Would Jesus Christ have a YouTube channel? Because I'm sure the people who run YouTube are Christian, maybe Muslim, maybe it's all AI, or the secret people. It doesn't matter. They're all related to you and me. So this is a question. Video. more about questions. The biggest question hasn't come yet, but it's about your Bible. I had a really big aha moment. And I want to explore the aha moment with a simple live, just a conversation about when you open your mouth and the words come out, it changes all of a sudden where you stand. Where do I stand with you? Good question. Where'd that come from? Where do you and I stand? Can you stand your ground? Okay, when you're standing, you're silent. Okay, normally you're waiting for the bus. There's no one around. Quiet. You stand. Shh. You're quiet. You could be a person that I disagree with. I don't like. You could be a racist. You could be a homophobe. I don't know, a murderer, rapist. You're standing there. I don't know you from Adam. So Adam. Okay. Now, simple. When you're by yourself, you stand. Shh, you're quiet. You're accepted until the mouth opens up. I'm looking at you and I'm seeing a reflection of myself. You have a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs like me. Okay, this is a human. This is standing there. The mouth opens. All of a sudden now, you're no longer a human with a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs now. You've offended me. You've gone too far. We have boundaries. We had this. You should have known this. You didn't know that. Now you know this. I'm like, excuse me. When I was looking at you before you opened your mouth, I just was able to just feel relaxed. Like I'm looking at another being who's being in the moment. But the mouth, the influence, we get in trouble. You want to save the world. You want to be a truther. You get a channel. You want to use the freedom of speech. Yet freedom today is confusing. Isn't it? As they say, the gurus in India, isn't it? If you have to go to work, they're telling you that you're broken. I've said this, and I am broken from this system, but I'm still in it. Okay. Simple. Here's another good question. This is a great question. This is a simple question. Why do we use the words, I'm broke? I'm broke. Where did that come from? This is a great question. Think about this word. Think about what pain is and an injury and mental health and that word. I'm broke. Got to go back to work. Got to get more money. I got a budget. What does it mean to be broke? You have the word yoke. Yoga means union, yolk, the yolk of the egg. Break the egg, broke. You crack. Crack is a drug. Out comes the yolk. Yo, man. Where did it come from? This egg. Your Mother Nature. Why is it called Mother, not Father Nature and Father Earth? This Father Time. Why? How did your ancestors or you and me in a past life know that, but we forgot it today? And we now go to school to relearn or unlearn in some cases what you already knew. Bars. You hear me talking to you? Of course, you would have had to have known education, all the stuff in the school. How do I know that? Just think about it. What is history? Let's just go to history. What is it only associated with a building and a teacher? Good question. History. We make history every day we wake up. You're making history by existing in a time period. Women have their periods. What is Time magazine? Who is Father Time? So, my point is this. When you are saying that you are broke, okay, you are acknowledging a fracture, not fractions that got you there too. So they break you down. Who's they? The system. Great. The work. I'm in it too. So you can call me the villain as well. I'm a villain. I work in it. Okay, it's okay. But we shouldn't be taking shit. We should scholarly, calmly be able to express ourselves when shit comes our way, because it wants you to eat it. It wants you to feed off of the negative energy. Oh, my video has been taken down. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I have been here before. I have been here before this time period, and so have you. It shouldn't offend you. You shouldn't be surprised. It's been happening in history, right? You existing as a human being, the sperm becoming a solid thing from a liquid with bones is history. Not just in the building with someone's name and a date and a war broke out, or an invention was made, or tea was legal, or then alcohol was legalized. That's not just history. Your history is also you having an argument with your mom and your dad, or having a great time with them, feeding your dog. It's history. There's no one there recording you. It's still history, yes or no? As your gurus say in India, yes or no, and isn't it? I like these words. Right? I'm going to ask good questions. We should be asking more questions than just talking about how bad things are. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Okay? Like if we ask more questions, right, then we can make sense out of why we can't, let's just say, work things out. But you have to go to work. You're going to work, but you're working on your relationship. How many jobs do you have? It's a good question. You're working on yourself. It's a third job. Wow. Oh, you're also going to work in your car. Fourth job. Damn, it's a lot of work. Simple shit. A shit is simple. It comes out, you wipe, but you don't. Or you give it to the earth or the toilet. It's not going to negotiate with your ass cheeks, your doo-doo. It's not going to say, oh man, I'm just not feeling it today. Just you offended me and you said something really, and I want to stay in your intestines and just, you know what I mean? Some people have issues with constipation, but in general, it comes out like your urine wants to come out when it's time to pee. Right? It's not going to negotiate and worry about what you did and said and analyze your shit and get in your head and, censor you. Right? Which is, okay. So my point is, to censor someone, you have to have a sense. What do you mean? What's the sixth sense? It was a movie. It's a good question. What is a sixth sense? And why was it a movie if it's just mumbo jumbo? If you have this sense, you need a sensei. No, you don't. You are the sensei. You get where I'm going here? You need a guru because your body's what? A machine that needs someone to guide it? No, it doesn't. You should know everything already. You should understand that you're the final creation here, walking on 2 feet, quite unique. You got a damn solar plexus of the lighting in your stomach. You've got a lunate moon bone. You've got all these bones that are named after a god in the heavens. Neptune's chariot is hippocampus. Look that one up. It means a damn sea monster. Your brain means a sea monster. Not a C positive person or a C unicorn. It says sea monster for hippocampus in etymology. Look it up. So what does that mean? What does it mean to have a solar plexus? And they say the sun is so hot. The sun is like, wow. It's like burn you to death if it comes down here. But it's in your stomach. And how much of it's there to make you function? Wow. How do you burn out? Good question, Jay. How did you burn out? Is your name Bernie? Are you burning rubber? It's a good question. The truth. Everyone's so uptight about how to deliver the truth. Deliver this way. Just say this, say that. Now I'm going to take the video down. You went too far. Okay, this is where you've been your whole life. You will have these problems with, I guess, some entity that when you open your mouth, your body changes into something that becomes intimidating. And you're affected by that. Buddhism was made to deal with that. And so was meditation. Not to follow the gods necessarily and do rituals, all this stuff. Because it's not making the world better. Sure, they're impressive. All the rituals, all the religions, all the belief systems have incredible stories. Do we see any of these incredible stories happening today where you have superhuman powers parting the seas? Moses, how did he do that with the staff? Had a human body, right? And did that how long ago? And we can't do it today. Not one of us. Any bloodlines to Moses? Anyone related? There's a reason why I'm asking that question. Is there a bloodline for the Christ, for Jesus Christ? He was gone for quite a bit, right? We don't have all of his years of living. Did he meet anybody? Have any interesting sexual encounters? Were they all straight? Good question. I mean, he calls himself the morning star, for God's sake, in Revelation 22:16, which is the female Venus. But you see a man body. What does that mean? Again, please. Wow. You open your mouth. Your body changes. The 9 months it took to make you, the light that it took to make you, the dirt, rocks, minerals that it took to make you. You want to be a scientist, the neurons and protons that it took to make you, all of a sudden go out the window when you open your mouth. And now you have a belief system. You have a view on something, a view. It's a TV show called The View. So why can't we all have our personal TV show and give our view? Why do I have to be an actor or have a background or a resume? That person right there who's in Hollywood, great actor, but they have a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs and a heart like I do. They're my twin. If they're good, I'm good. If they're bad, I'm bad. I'm not better. Same thing at your job. You get along, great. You don't? Okay. Why? It's very simple. Negative, positive. And the medications they're taking, the stuff that we're putting in our body, the vaping culture, I understand. It's all ancient technology. We've been doing this for thousands of years, or however long we've been here. Could be hundreds only. I don't know. It's a good question. Right. Questions. So you open your mouth and things change. People change. You either gain or lose something. So if someone at your job you don't get along with, they're in a bad mood, then you're also in a bad mood. When they're in a good mood, you're in a good mood. You see where I'm going here? Be neutral. It doesn't matter. I'm working on this now. I just had an aha moment about chilling out. Like just, I'm experiencing paranormal energies. I'm experiencing things that I can't explain that come out of my body at night, and they're called orbs. And then I see them in license plates, ORB, today, like crazy. And I see numbers that are just beyond gods and light, and like they're infinite, powerful numbers, consistently in front of where I work. You know what I'm saying? I believe this is called manifestation. So when you're doing these kinds of things, if you're trying to be, let's just say, a normal person in this society, when you open your mouth, there's going to be a lot of problems. This makes sense, right? Because we would call them crazy. We would call them abnormal or just paranormal. What does supernatural mean? Break the word down. Super and nature. Once again, this is why I have this on the ground. Dirt and rocks that I lie on. Yeah. Simple. You want a massage table? You got hard and soft together there. And they're going to read every part of the body you missed, the parasites that you missed, the viruses that want to get in you. Sure. Of course you can make viruses. Who is Osiris? The word virus? It's okay. You can look at these gods as black and white. They're both worlds. Hence, why would so many people go to war over the Bible? Now, this is where my question comes. Okay? Many wars were fought. We know this. Many hard battles of getting the word of God, of Jesus Christ across, and the Virgin Mary and the blood of the Lamb. A lot of aggression had to be used in order for this book and the religion to be here. There were crusades. We know all this stuff. Are we still affected by that today? Okay. This is why we're being censored. This is why you're going to have black and white. You're going to have someone that's cool with you and then not cool with you. Be neutral to it. Stare at it. Look at it. Just talk softly to it. Don't feed it. Because it's you. The person you don't like right now that's annoying the fuck out of you is another version of you. It's wow. Simple. Well, it's different. Wait a minute. They're not in your family blood. Like, your mom and dad have to have sex in order for us to all be family, right? We don't have the same dimensions, brain and hearts and balls and the vagina. So we're taking it too seriously. So here's my biggest question. And everyone, please look this up. Now, when you look up who wrote the Bible, the only book in which I believe this has happened, cool. When you look it up, the AI will show you, it is believed that God himself wrote the Bible. Moses and da-da-da-da wrote the books. Do you hear me? Has anyone ever thought to ask this question? This is a great question. Okay, so what they're telling us is the actual names in this book that are very well known, that are not, let's just say, just a normal human being. Moses, we know, and Jesus, we know, created religions. Okay, and they made miracles. They were magicians. Wow. With a bronze staff. Why was it bronze? Why couldn't it be, I don't know, silver? Just regular ass gold, platinum. What's the bronze? Anything happening? Good question. My question is this. This is a great question. Okay. So if Moses and God wrote that book and not some human with a name of the first and last name, you can document when they wrote it, the year and all this. Okay, no problem. Here's my question. Can you please demonstrate an empty book with nothing, no words? Please, Hare Krishna. This is a good question. Can you get a book that's blank, with nothing written on it? Put it in a church. Great. Put it somewhere sacred. Can it happen today, is the question, in which if I ask upon Moses, or literally God, him or herself, I say, hey, can you please demonstrate writing the Bible for us again? Because humans are writing it a lot today, aren't they? Right? The New Testament, the Old Testament, the Middle Testament, the before Testament, the after Testament, the one you didn't even know about, right? A lot of humans are just remixing ibit and writing. And Moses, though, and God, apparently, wrote this book. Now, in my understanding, God should be infinite and immortal, because when you die, you go to see this, you meet your maker. Do you ever ask questions? You're meeting your maker? Your body's been destroyed, which it was made miraculously. Now you're meeting the maker. What is it in a human form? In order to make something, I believe I'd need hands. This is no light, right? This is where you come from. This is my point. So what I'm saying is it possible to demonstrate this book being written by God? Never mind Moses. God alone should be enough. Can someone demonstrate, who is a beautiful Christian, Catholic, whatever you are, Protestant, a Seventh-day Adventist, the Eve people, even Adventist, Eve, level, same word, equator? Yeah, great. You Jehovah's that are witnessing. Okay. Who wrote that book? Okay? Now, if you can do that, if you can prove to me that you can put a book with no words in it and that some being can just write English, and a lot of English, and then put numbers and print, and give it a cute cover and all that, right? Right? This is what they're telling us. Wouldn't that be a miracle? Okay, so then shouldn't that miracle be repeated then? It should be something you can do again. Why would God stop in this age? I'm not going to write another Bible again. I did it back then. I'm going to shut up now. What? Wouldn't God want to get the word out even today and say, okay, put that book right there. No words. I'm going to just, whoa, I'm going to shine light on it. And you're going to see it in Arabic. You're going to see it in Jewish, Japanese, Chinese, Korean. Christianity and being a Catholic is the rock star religion. Now you know why. Who's the author? Now let's go to India. These are great questions. The Mahabharata, there's an author. Fact. Okay. Your Ramayana, there is a name. There's an author for that. Okay? They're apparently real beings that wrote, but they saw it happening while they were using their hands. That makes sense to me. So they were also seeing some paranormal God stuff, right, in India, okay, like the Bible. But then when you're there, you can look up the author, fact, of the book. Let's go to Christianity now. Right? Okay. Who wrote the Quran? Let me go look that one up. Give me a second here. And this is no disrespect to your belief system. I'm just curious. These are just really good questions, I think. I'm typing in who wrote the Quran. It says Muhammad. Okay, of course. Okay. Now, when we're thinking of this name now, are we thinking of a literal human being that was like, yeah, okay, I'm alive, I have this ability, you know what I'm saying? I have a unique brain, I don't know why. I'm going to write this great thing called the Quran for other people to be enlightened, maybe. They don't have to, you feel me? But I got this gift. Okay, is that what they mean by Muhammad? Because to my understanding, Muhammad is one of the sons of Abraham, right? I believe. I could be rusty here, but I do believe that Muhammad is one of this, right? So it relates to the Bible. We know this, I believe, correct? Abraham, the Jewish, the Abrahamic Brahma is in there. Brahma, Brahmin, Bruins. William is Bill. I'm asking questions. Who was the physical author of the Bible? Because if it was not a physical action, I would love to see someone show me that miracle again of a book writing itself. Has anyone ever seen that? Has there ever been a church that's had a sermon where the priest just came out floating with rays of light? Wonderful, it's possible. And didn't touch the book. Just stared at it and then let there be light. And all of a sudden it's just starting to write with no hands doing it. You feel me? Look up who wrote your Bible. Let's look it up right now. These names are important. Let's be a scholar here. Okay, pardon me. Oh, this is interesting. It's different here. It says Christians believe that God inspired particular human beings to write the books of the Bible. So the message comes from God, but the words reflect the style of the human being who wrote them. Okay, the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were written by people who knew Jesus. So in many cases, they report his actual words. This is Reddit. Okay, I've seen different explanations. That's even better now. So now we have another problem. Who are these names that wrote the Bible? Who are they? When were they born? What's their date of birth? What year? History, right? Who's the first human being? This is my question now, another question. Who's the first human being? What's their name? Why doesn't their name show up for the Bible? I would imagine that that person should get credit for the work. Why? You got a credit card today. We shouldn't have to have credit. You're alive, but it's a game. You're in a debt-based system. What is credit? Taking credit? Oh, you took the credit for that. What do you mean? I didn't take anything. You took it too because you and I are the same. We have the same dimensions. We're only differentiating because we actually opened our mouth. And now it's a problem. But when we were quiet, you and I, no problem, walk by each other, maybe stare at each other for a second, you feel me, do this and be like, you know what I mean? But you open the mouth, now we're ready to like each other or I'm going to hate you. I'm going to give you a video or I'm going to take it down. Some videos will leave there, the rest, some will take down. So certain human beings wrote the Bible. Who were they? And their name should be in, would you Google? Yes or no? To research them. What was their family? What was their last names? Christ? No. Yeshua? We know the original name for Jesus Christ was not those titles. Okay. So I'm asking questions here. Who was the first human to write this book? And what were they like? What was their life like? What was their family like? Does it mention that in the Bible? Does the Bible speak about who wrote the Bible? I think like children. Hare Krishna. Okay. Does it mention the person's name is my point? In every Bible, when you open the book, I mean the original Bible, not these new authors today that are giving you, right, and making money. Another great question I have about that, the Bible. You have to buy the book, right? I'm going to look up how much a Bible costs. Oh, it even knew. Of course, AI. Okay, we got some Bibles for $19, some for $2.69, some for $5.49, some for $5.71 King James Version, some $29.05. I'm singing King James 46. We might an auction here. You know these prices for these. Go look it up. This $5 here, $8 there for the Bible, $4, $16. God damn it, $3 over here. What is going on? Wow. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask another question. Okay. What does it mean to be a sinner? And are there rules in that book about what sinning is? Correct? It's a good question. This is only about Christianity. This is about Hinduism too. All your belief systems. Islam, Jewish, we love you, whatever you, Baha'i, Scientology, whatever you're doing. So what is a sin? It means that you've broken some kind of a rule. You were on a path. The high forces were trying to guide you, right? And you did something that was not on the path. So it would be a sin. So I'm going to ask a question. It's a good question. Should the Bible be sold? And is selling the Bible a sin? Charging people for the word of God, in which if I pray, it's free. Isn't it? Do you pray? Do you charge yourself when you pray? This is a great question. Do you actually give yourself money back? You're like, I'm going to pay myself, then I'm going to pray. No, you just pray. But do you meditate? Do you like think about, no, I got $50 right now. Yeah. Boom. I'm going to put it in my pocket. And now I can pray. Does that motivate you to do that? To be a yogi, a Jew, Muslim? No, it doesn't, right? Something in the ether or vibe or an energy or a sound you hear makes you feel something, and you pray. Simple. You pray for free. So all systems in which require meditation, hear me, yoga, exercises should be free. You see where I'm going here now? It should not be a business. It should not ever be a business. It should be something that anyone can have access to. This is my point. Like you, when you put your hands together, you have access to your hands. You didn't, you have to get paid to do that. I'm going to pay you $100 to pray. Oh, now I'm going to pray. I'm going to give you $50 if you pray to Allah. Thank you, I'll do that now. No, you do it because you believe. If you're a Sikh person, Sikh, whoever you are, yes or no, you do it because you feel a connection for free. Now back to your books. It's a business. We're paying for gems. What up, Travis Cup? We're paying for gemstones. Turquoise, gold. Okay. Excuse me? This is a good question. Why are we paying for gemstones? The word stone is there. Now, are we being stonist? Because I got these for free. For earthing. With the black dirt. And lots of nitrogen, honey. I'm getting pumped. Every time I lie on that thing, I can feel what I'm going to become when I meet the maker. So then when I have problems and people want to yell and scream or be happy and sad, or whatever they want to be, it won't affect me as much because my body is grounded, physically, literally, not just meditating and doing yoga, wearing shoes and having a latte and a little poodle in a bag and some cologne and shit and Bluetooth. This is cute. It's not a business. Go to your churches. How many of your priests have to get paid to preach? Why do your priests have to get paid? Why do they have to make a living? Now, here's my other question. When you're saying I have to make a living, we know we're going to pass away. But when you said that I'm making a living, are you implying that I'm not living right now? Listen to me carefully. It's a good question. You want me to make a living while I'm living? That means a baby. So you're saying you want me to have sex? Yeah. Venus worship. It's okay, the goddess of sex. My sign, Taurus. Yes or no? Questions, man. Good questions. Ask these questions. Why is it in church you're giving out money in that little dish, right? Okay. We know there's corruption, but sometimes they use it for good things. Where does that money go? This is my question. Where does the money go in every church that is put into that dish when they ask for offerings? No problem. In India, they do that. Their penance. Please give me alms. They say alms. Palm Sunday, honey. It's the same word. Alms. Palm. Psalm. It's your hand, dude. You already had that. You don't need to learn more. You've been tricked into thinking you need a priest, a guru, a teacher necessarily, a leader, captain, a manager, a lieutenant, a private. What? Think about this shit. Where'd that come from? What is that? What is that? Think about it. You open the mouth, now you're a lieutenant. You close your mouth, I didn't know who the fuck you were. Think about it. Today, they dress in plain clothes, military people. And they, I wouldn't know you're a lieutenant until, I served. Oh, now I know because you opened your mouth. When you were quiet, we were equal. You were a human standing there looking at me, wondering, oh, who's that? But I open my mouth and the controversy begins in the Pandora's box. There is something about your voice box that's very intimidating to this world. And in every age, your mouth actually is the most powerful part of your body, not the heart. Your mouth. A bold statement. Yeah. Your mouth, way more lethal. Building, destroying your mouth, the forming of the words, the idea of the mouth. In my opinion, the heart is valuable. It's more powerful than your heart. And how do I know that? The distance between the two. Connection, but the distance. There's a reason why it's elevated up here. And expanding upon the heart, it needs it. But then there's this thing here, this temple. It's chosen clearly to rise above the heart and to give you some kind of a unique gift. You might have a cough. You might not. It's all useful energy. You're opening your mouth. Well, now I know you're sick. But you got a problem. You coughed. But before, you were a regular person. You see where I'm going here? We seem to change when people become more than themselves. More than yourself. So be careful how you open your mouth. You ever have a day where you don't say much? It makes people nervous. When you're quiet. And just try this at work. Just go to work. I've done this from chronic pain, but just go to work and just sit there like this. Try it for about 10, 15 minutes, just staring. They're going to ask if you're okay. They're not used to quiet because they have many characters. They're a coworker, they're a father or a mother, someone's child, right? A bill payer, a car driver, an eater, a shopper, maybe a rapper, maybe you're a drag queen behind the scenes, you're doing a lot. Okay, whatever. Beautiful. Being still and quiet is the most powerful thing you can be doing on this planet. And you don't need a guru. You don't have to do necessarily only yoga to learn that. Yoga is a great tool, but there's too many damn versions. Good question. Why are there so many versions of yoga? Yoga is yoga. Okay, your version's different. Great. You did more moves. You found something new. Yoga is yoga. Did you do Kriya? Do you do Shiva? Do you do Vishnu? Do you do Lakshmi Shakti? Tantric yoga, yoga is yoga, in my opinion. Why are there so many religions? This is a good question. This is a simple video today. Because I had a video taken down. I got to chill out. I got to be careful. I decided to be in the system. I decided to have a YouTube channel. I do have subscribers. I'd like for you guys to see my videos. So I have to think about what I'm saying now. I have to watch my mouth. What does that mean, to watch your mouth? Can any of you look down at your mouth? Do you ever try that and look at your mouth when you're talking and like try to look at it and control it? Hey, don't say that. You don't do that. This could be a comedy routine. Yes or no? But people should break down what they say. Watch your mouth. Watch your tone. Oh. Do that to them. No. Oh. Look at your mouth while you do it. Oh. Yeah, I can sing. Watching your mouth. You don't do that, do you? Good question. Why don't you look at your mouth when I say so? Why don't people look at their mouth when someone says watch your mouth? How do you watch your tone? You can't see it. Oh, it's hear your tone. Hear your mouth. Hear it first, and then it comes out. Hear your mouth. You've changed it. Not watch your mouth. It's nonsensical. Your mouth and your eyes are one and the same, sweetheart. Your mouth is, what up, Jazzy? Your mouth is an eye. It's the one eye symbol. It is. Your mouth is the one eye symbol, guys. You have the symbols of the dark occult. We'll call it that. We love them. But here's my question there. Why is there a dark occult and a light occult? It's an occult. They're the same thing. Magic is magic, black or white. Okay. Simplify it. Ask these questions. So, if we can't know the author of the Bible, Travis, Jay, you familiar with Vajra? Yeah, I had a Vajra amulet made, really cool. Origins of Thor's hammer power. The Vajra is the weapon of Indra. Yes, the Vajra looks like a spinal cord. The weapon of Indra, Travis. Indra is the Vajra. I say that in the Buddha mantra, Om Ahum. I say Vajra Guru paid my city. Vajra, same word as vagina, Viagra. It's okay. We're all grown here. We have these body parts. Okay. Now, of course. Now, the Vajra is a weapon in Buddhism. Did you hear me? Look it up. Look it up. Look at it. Look at what it looks like. It's literally a sword with a little symbol, of Indra. It's a weapon that they meditate with. Where did nuclear war come from? A good question. A lot of nukes were going off in the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. A lot of godly powers were happening and explosions and things happening in these stories, written by a human and an author that you can go look up. But you can't with the Bible. Interesting. Why can't we know who wrote it? Wow, right? The first person to write the Bible, the name. Joseph Jackson. It was a female. Amanda Broom. I don't know. Right? Was it many of them that wrote it? Was it a team of people? Okay, great. They were chosen by God. How did that happen? What does it mean to be chosen by God to write a book? Look it up. It says those that were chosen by God wrote the book, which means that God is picky. Yeah, has a caste system. It's like, nah, I don't want your dumb ass to do it. No, you smell bad. No, you're fat. No, you're this, you're that. This one, though, yeah, with the same head, 2 arms, and 2 legs like you and me, and the heart, and a solar plexus, and God body parts, and the 5 elements, earth, water, air, fire, ether in my hands. But this one over here, with the same dimensions as me, is going to write that book. So how did that happen? What's that process? That should be taught. That process, how to be chosen by God, should be taught, I think, before we read these books. Are you chosen to be a Christian? What does that mean? Are you chosen to be a Hindu? Were you born into it? Most of you were born into it. Does that mean you were chosen though? I don't know. Was your family chosen? And mine, they flew over mine. I was born into it too. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm trying to say? It's a good question. Anyone and anything that you're experiencing is literally you in a different dimension. And so you're looking at yourself when you were dealing with someone else, or if you're dealing with a problem. The most powerful weapon we have is being creative. Let's keep it simple. The most powerful weapon you are not making money, because in order to make money, you have to have an idea and something to show. Right? Show and tell. That's how it is today. Wonderful. Are you creative? What's a creator? Were you created? Were you made in a certain unique way? And where did it come from? And then it wrote a book about what made all of us. Even the atheists or the sinners. You see where I'm going here? Because a lot of people that get into these books, they'll change themselves because they feel like they're messing up or they're sinning because the book says you can't do this, you have to do that. Okay. Now this is why I'm asking who wrote this book. Because you have rules in this book that tell you if you want to go to heaven, you got to do A, B, C, and D. Wonderful. This is why it's important to know who the chosen ones were, who wrote that, and what they were doing behind the scenes. What was their personal life like? Did they have any challenges, these writers, these ones who were chosen by God? And were they going through something, or were they perfect? Were they even human? It says they were human. You look it up, but then in some Googling of who wrote the Bible, you'll get, oh, God and Moses wrote that. Okay. Can they do it again? Give me a second here. Now, when you Google it like this, now I'm going to do it a different way. When you Google this, pardon me, the Judeo-Christian tradition of Mosaic authorship holds that Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible, also known as the Torah or Pentateuch, after receiving dictation from God. Wonderful. I have a question about that. This is a good question. Moses had a family, right? Is anyone down here able to write a Bible that relates to that one there that had kids and stuff? Oh, I mean, did they have kids? I don't know. I haven't read the whole book. I don't need to. But you see where I'm going here? It's a good question. I'm a child. Maybe I'm ignorant. It's great. I can be ignorant. Wonderful. I'm learning. So can that person, okay, be traced, this Moses? Do you see where I'm going here? Can they do it again today and make sure it's pure, which would make sense? Can we bring the bloodline of that author that was touched by God? Can we trace that DNA in a human today to write the Bible again and to get touched by God and do it again in this age? And we see it. This is my question. No, you get other people, strangers with regular last names that have had a life. They become Christian or become Muslim, blah, 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 right? And then they write it. Heck no. So when you look up things, you'll have some things will say, yeah, there were certain humans that were touched by God. They were chosen that wrote the Bible. Then you look at this version, it says, no, Moses and God together by themselves did it. Those 5 books. I'm asking a question. Is there anyone in this age right now that can do that? Because it should be possible if it happened in history, which they're telling us. It's a good question. Can it be done again? Can we get a different version of the Bible? You know what I'm saying? Did we miss anything? Is there anything that we might have missed? Certain names, certain issues, ways of translating it. Okay? What was the original language it was written in? Okay? And what was that bloodline? It's a good question. And shouldn't they be only allowed to write the Bible? Because they're the ones that have authorship. So do we have any copyright issues here? When we sell the Bible, is it a copyright? Are you infringing upon someone else's copyright? Moses, when you do that, it's a transaction. It counts, right? It's like your artwork, you sold it. You treated a holy thing the same way? Whoa, wouldn't that be in the category of a sin? Selling the Bible for a fee. Did God ask Moses? Look within. Did God ask Moses for money in order for Moses to be inspired to write the book? Most of you people who have a book career, who are authors, Stephen King, you have an agent. Come on, guys. You have an agent when you're an author. Yes or damn no. Eckhart Tolle, right? The guy who's always quiet and chill and very cute and fluffy. Okay, great. The Oprah people, right? Oprah has a book. She has an agent with hands that write. You can trace that name. Let's go to Moses. Authorship. Are we infringing upon the copyright of Moses when we sell it and preach? Did you ask permission to Moses? Wow. Now that's a state of nirvana question, in my opinion. Did you ask permission to this one who is the actual original author? Oh, they're dead. Is this the excuse I'm going to hear? Do they have a family bloodline that you can go back and say, thank you, whatever. Just want to say, we appreciate what you did for us back in the day. My God, the miracles. Do you mind if I sell your story for $5 and have a church and preach and ask for donations? Are you cool with that, Moses? Maybe it's his son, the same name. George Foreman, the boxer, named all of his sons George. Some of your alpha males do that. Okay. For a reason. Now back to you, Moses. We have some copyright issues, don't we? If my videos are being taken down from me opening up my mouth freely, right, on YouTube, which happened recently again, okay, interesting, then why can people go and spit the word of God but not acknowledge the actual bloodline that wrote the book, acknowledge the bloodline, invite them to the church, invite them to speak about Moses being, that was my cousin. That was my, you see where I'm going? Like, it's your family. But Eckhart Tolle has all that story. Shakespeare had that. He had an agent. Didn't Shakespeare have someone make him famous? Didn't do it by himself. He had a team of people. And Shakespeare was a great writer. Kind of sounds like the Bible talk, Shakespeare. We know this. It's poetic and stuff. And art thou and this and thou and they shall go and run amok. And these words are very powerful. Who's the author? Is that a sin, is my question? To even have a Bible, to buy the Bible. Wow, that's someone else's story. Oh, but it's your story too, it says. Is your name in the book? Your address, where you live, your phone number, where you work at, all the problems you have with addiction or not, how many times you went to church? No, you ain't in there. It's an ancient story that you have to look at and learn and get the rules of what is right and wrong, like your Mahabharatas and your Talmud, Torah, the Quran, your Buddha texts all have this. Who wrote the first book on Buddhism? Let's look that up. Let's just look that up. Who wrote the first Buddhist text? Let's just see. I have to dig a bit here. These are good questions. Okay. So it says here monks did it. That makes way more sense to me. And it just says monks. It doesn't say certain people that were chosen by Buddha. It says monks. Take your pick. So it means a lot of people like this entity and wrote, and there's probably too many names for them to show. Whereas when you look at the Bible, it says a certain amount of humans were chosen. I mean, it would have made more sense in my brain. Oh yeah, sure, many humans. That way, okay, that makes sense. It'd be hard to find, right? But you still should be able to document, though. If you can watch Christ be crucified and know that and document that, and then aren't there dates in the Bible and time periods and stuff like this, right? This it's a story, correct? It's a story. Someone was there. People, wake up. My God. And they documented this. Or was this Moses? It was one man saw all this happen and said, okay, God's going to speak through my mouth or my body, and the Bible is going to get written. Wow. Does anyone else have that kind of, is that possession? Are they possessed? That's a real thing. You can become a deity of India. You can become Shiva and feel the power of all the deities if you know what you're doing. It's a lot of work, but you don't have to do that. But you can become taken over by an entity, a deity. It's possible. Go to Haiti, right? Haiti doesn't play. Haiti whoop Napoleon's ass with voodoo. Interesting. Voodoo. Yoga. Martial arts, guys. Natural, organic, okay. Earth shit. Okay. Interesting. Why? How come Haiti's got this powerful voodoo? Aren't they human like you and me? Or are there vibrations that have different kinds of energies in them? And we don't know who they are and what they are and what it means. Is every piece of gold the same piece of gold? No. You got 14 karat, 10 karat, 8 karat bars. I got you there. All the same thing, but a little bit different. And the prices change, don't they? When the carats get bigger. It's worth more. Why? It's still gold. It should be expensive no matter what. If it's gold, yes or no? Like your gurus say, yes or no, isn't it? So many people are passionate about being a Christian. I see it, and they call themselves saved, and I watch their energy, and I'm like, this is great. But then they get into this whole thing about I had to change this. I was sinning, da, da, da. But then I'm thinking to myself, well, are there any more sins that you are still producing? You changed one certain thing. The Bible said you can't be gay. Who were the Enochs that chopped off their thing and were associated with being a little unique and sweet? But were watching the women. They were put to protect women because they chopped off, this is a fact, to not have any lust issues. This is another great point. You have had human beings that have chopped that thing off. Now, listen, parental advisory, I am not saying or encouraging this behavior, but this is deep. You had people that figured out that they could still breathe and live. Cutting that off with your life force down there that makes babies, you can still be a unique, sharp. I've always said you're not your family jewels and your vagina, but you can use them to upgrade yourself. But if you didn't have that, are you useless? Are you useless? Will your body still create miracles? Well, of course, because you're made of light. Your vagina and your ding dong are just, they're additives. Do you see what I'm saying here? Wow, you can chop the nuts off and everything, dude, and live for a certain amount of time. Wow, and that's an actual character in your book there, I believe. Yes or no? Now, Jesus is very compassionate with the Enochs. There are many verses about the Enochs are born that way and da-da-da-da. Stuff like this. I'm sure there's drama in the Bible too. I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm honest. Have you read the whole thing? Most Christians haven't read the whole thing. You've read one part, but you missed other parts that I might know that could help change your perspective to show you that your religion has other sides to it. and words in it, when I open my mouth, can you handle that, or am I going to change on you? You're going to look at me differently. When before you and I were really cool and smoking together. My question is, why does that happen? That's not normal. How does sperm behave? Do you know? Do you ever go in your own balls and listen to sperm talk? They're all in there, moving. They have life. What are they doing? Not really thinking. They're producing. The producer? Why do you have to have a producer? It's a good question. What is the producer doing? Is it making a baby for you? In a corporate world, corp means a body of evidence and a body of water. A body of work. Why is it called that? Do you like your body? Do you like your body naked? I love your body of work. I mean you. Do you like your body of work? Are you comfortable in your own body? Can you be naked? You were born that way. Are you okay with your shirt off? Are you always pulling it down? Okay. I see it a lot. Women do it all the time. Ugh. They want to be sexy. They're beautiful. The goddess, Venus, of course. We love all of them. But you know, there's that one girl. She might be a bit bigger than the other girls. And here she is, Becky, big bum, big, she's trying to copy what Jennifer has. Jennifer's skinny, ripped yoga chick, right? Can eat anything and stays ripped. And here's Becky. She can't really do that, but she hangs out with Jennifer, right? And she puts on the same clothes. What do you think she's going to do? She's going to keep pulling it down and being ashamed of herself. The poor thing. Compassion. Right? You see what I'm going here? Why do we do that? There's why would you wear something that you're uncomfortable in? Why would you wear something that makes you self-conscious? Men too. Why? Oh, I know why. I already know why. But I'm asking you, do you know why? Because we're living in a world today where when you open your mouth, everything changes. But before I open my mouth, you accept me for who I am. You're looking at me as a work of art, like a statue. A statue can't talk back to you, can it? When you see it in a museum, and it's this great thing that someone made. It's your damn body. Wow. Here you are. But it can't talk back to you. But you're like, my God, I flew all the way to France or to India, great, or Afghanistan or Asia to see a statue of the Buddha. It's you. Have you had enough? Where else you need to go? You're going to see you with your mouth closed. Buddha's not talking. They're all quiet. Or, okay, Kylie, sure, they're expressing, but they're not talking. They're quiet. They're shutting up, right? They're works of art that look like you, but you have to talk. They don't, to get paid. The statue is ripping you off. The statue doesn't have to do shit. It can stay in shape. It got your damn rent money. It got you to buy a plane ticket. I'm a genius. It got you to buy food. It got you to bring your children. Oh my God. And it can't even speak and move, but it looked like you and it's got a body like you. I have a question today. Am I a damn priest? Hallelujah. Is it not a good question? The statue doesn't speak to you, but you're blown away by it. Oh my God. I saw a work of art. It's freaking you. It's got pectorals, right? Do you have pectorals? It's a game. See where I'm going here. You should be asking questions about your museum. What are you seeing? What are you really looking at? Don't worry about the history and even the painter. Don't just shut up. Just what's the first thing you know? A human being is in there, flying around with wings. You go to the damn Louvre of France, even in Milan, in the sacred church, they're all human-bodied wings, beautifully, usually ripped and looking very prophetic, but they're quiet. A painting can't talk to you. But you're moved by it. You're like crying. You're talking. You're talking to the painting. You're an intellectual. You're going to explain the painting and how it was made and why it was made and what's happening. We don't care. What I want to know is, goddamn it, is that me? Is anyone else looking at? Great, he's talking about the history and all the money it's worth and how old it is. But does anyone else in here realize that what we're looking at is an anatomy that we all have? And can we just acknowledge that? And we're talking to something that can't talk back to us. Do you hear me? This is crazy. You call me crazy for going outside barefoot, call the cops on me in my chat room, and doing solar gazing and doing my urine therapy. You call this crazy, and eating trees and smoking Virginia tobacco. I'm crazy. You mean to tell me you can stand in front of a damn screen, a PowerPoint presentation, and just show symbols and words and won't talk necessarily? You just click, 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 click. Okay. Or you stand in front of a painting, or even graffiti. You're in front of graffiti. You want to give the history of the ghetto, of the street world, and maybe you're really into that. You're documenting it, but you're standing in front of something that is quiet and doesn't need you to even look at it to exist. It exists by itself because something made it and we know who it was. Oh, that's that guy. That's that graffiti artist. His name is Dragon. You see where I'm going? So let's go back to Moses, who wrote the book. God was transmitting messages. He was possessed. Same work, same thing. Great. What up, Blessed Mix? Hey, I heard you mention Haitian voodoo. They had these spirits called Loa that make miracles. Oh, Iwa. That's the Ewoks. They're taking everything from your native peoples. Native Son is an actual play that was written by the Native Son. It's a movie. What does this mean? What does it mean to be a native? What does it mean to be American or Indian? I'm asking you questions. What does it mean to be a Muslim? What does it mean to be Christian? What does it mean? Define it in one or few words. You should be able to do that. But you don't get that. You get a lot of, well, you see, and they'll talk, and it's great. You got passion, but not they're they're just going on, and you're kind of losing them. You're like, wait a minute, time out. You opened your mouth. Close your mouth for a second and become a painting, become a statue, become a work of art, become a body of work for a second, and let me just look at you and appreciate you. Like you're in the Louvre or you're in a museum, like you're a Van Gogh. Why don't we do that? You have to go into a building to see humans painted in history, and then you go outside, you look at each other, you see homeless people, whatever, and you're just like, whatever, I'm going to walk right by them. Why don't you stop and say, oh, a Picasso, a Rembrandt, a Renoir, the Mona Lisa. There she is. It's a little girl. Her name's Amanda. Beautiful. Okay. No, you don't do that, do you? Go to a building with some famous idiot who is a human like you, with a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs, love, that you can document, but you can't document that really for the Bible. I'm speaking with an accent because I can, and I like to. And I'm random, and yes, yeah, I like it. You don't like it? I don't care. Not my chocolate. Okay? The chronic pain. I get through chronic pain by being characters. Humor is a good medicine. Being creative is the most powerful gift you have, not being a truther. Another good point. Okay, seriously. Now, I did a lot of creating before I became woke. A lot of creating, dancing and rapping and choreographing and studying and working out and doing all kinds of, always being active and was never really good enough and trying to fit in somewhere. And there's always some damn rules. And then they open their mouth, and everything changes. You open your mouth, everything changes. But when you're dancing, you're quiet. When you go to the ballet, they're quiet and they're moving. The body is the body language now. I have gotten jobs from dancing and not using my mouth. Why can't we do that today outside of dance? I go to a interview. I show up to an interview and I just sit down and you can just feel I'm going to hire you. I can feel you're a good person. Why must I open my mouth, show you the resume and all this stuff, and then it's not even guaranteed. If I get the job, you might not even like me. And I'm totally qualified to do the job. I got a PhD. I've got a license. I'm certified. I'm someone famous's last name and all this stuff. But I come in your job now, and I might not get along with you. I open my mouth. Before that, it was all Gucci, as they say. Your rappers have potato chips. It's interesting. Being creative is the most powerful gift that you will have. Being judgmental is the most destructive. For example, I can't sing. I don't think I have it within me. I was never given a voice, a good voice. What is a good voice? A voice is a voice. What does this mean? You have a great voice. It makes me so, but this voice, can you handle a different voice and be calm? Why do you open your mouth now and that person? They're the same person. They have a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. They're both paintings, remember? in the museum. You were all about it in the museum. Now all of a sudden you're differentiating and, oh, you don't like that painting. You want that painting. Oh, that statue's boring. This one's a better statue. What are you doing? They're all the same thing. They're confusing you. And they're not even speaking to you, but you're speaking to it. Who is crazy now? Remember silent films? They were all silent. Was that a bit crazy that they did that? That you're sitting there, with no words coming out at you, just body language, like the ballet. So you can tell a whole story without even opening your mouth. So what's sign language? What are gang signs now? What are mudras? And why are we really here? And is the mouth something that you should always be using? No. Absolutely not. It's a special weapon. It's a secret weapon. Watch me cook this, eat it with no animals. Your mouth can get you into trouble, yes or no? Or it can get you something good, right? You all know this. Everything's going good, but you said one little off thing, and now everything that you built, square one again. Square one. Hexahedron Earth and the 5 Platonic solids. Now you're at square one when you were being built up. Remember this? But you opened your mouth, you showed your resume, you mentioned your experience and what you did and how good you were at it, and I was pretending like I was impressed, but I was jealous maybe, or I was competitive with you, and you kept going, and now you have a problem because you opened your mouth and you showed me too much stuff that I don't need to see. My point is, I should be able to trust and feel your vibe with your mouth closed and feel comfortable or not based on how you were holding yourself. Opening your mouth is wasting energy. It's also ejaculating, honey. People don't hear me. It's the same thing. Okay? It requires so much work to form words. When you're just breathing, let's look at how, nothing's really happening. But look at my mouth now, and I'm thinking, and you are wasting your energy. So I learned this now I've got it solid. Do not react now. I'm trying to work on that. I'm getting better. I still react though. I speak strongly when I feel like I'm being violated, which you should defend yourself. I do believe in that. But I'm now looking at it like, that's just that's me in a bad mood. That's a bipolar version of me. That's all. Can I accept it and let them have it? Let them call you a name. Let them be crazy. Because I guarantee you, if you're good at your job, we're going to want to still work with you regardless to get paid. I'm very good at my job. I can do any job and do it well, not because of ego, because I do. I can talk my way into getting a job, but I'm also good at listening and watching and copying. I was the best copycat dancer you'd ever see. I could watch someone on TV as a kid do the moonwalk, anything. All of you have this. I could watch a kid or someone do breakdancing. I go outside and do it from study. Some people have a brain like that. You understand? So hence ballet was my life. Breakdancing makes sense leading into ballet, right? Same tap dancing. What is tap dancing? What's tap water? It says that Ewas are an energy we liberate when we sing and chant, right? Oh, yes, of course, they're similar to angels. Of course, I can show you. I've had one visit me when I asked if I was Parvati. Parvati means the daughter of the mountain. It's a very huge omen. I have had Shakti say, yes, Jay, of course you are. But you have to figure it out and say the right thing because the orbs don't come for everything I say. You can go down there and see my proof. That last video, it's in a short. I said, am I Parvati? Boop. I asked that video, I cut it short too. It was a 5-minute video. I was asking all kinds of questions to get to that point. Yeah, I cut it short because you don't have an attention span today. Everything is 1 minute, a few seconds, stimulation, so I had to edit the shit. But I asked a lot of questions. I got Shakti. Wow. My story is done. My history has been made. That's like the epitome of an example of a miracle, and there being more to you than just your body. And these books that you're reading and these sinning things that you think you're doing, the right and wrong path that you think that you're doing, because right today is also wrong, by the way, to somebody else. It's subjective. You living that way could be completely wrong to someone who's living this way, and it works for them. They're ripped, they're healthy, whatever, they're living to be 100, but they're doing it different than you. It's bullshit. You opened your mouth and now things change. You opened your mouth. Don't open your mouth too much. And when you open your mouth, it should be a poem to God or a song to the creator. I don't mean the generic version of God. I mean the generator of vitamin D. You are solar, not bipolar. Bear, care, Ursa Major is the she-bear. Can I share? Words from thin air. I'm thinning in my hair. Do you care, bear? The cartoon. Sex drive, really high or low? Are you a ba black sheep baboon? Do you babble on when you babble baboon in the baby world, where you're all jerry curled, spraying toxins in your head, known as lead? What does it mean to be brain dead, but still alive, to thrive? No jive, a lot of brain dead people live a lot longer than those who are so-called stronger. You want to do the conga? What up, Empire? I'm always grateful, but in a lot of pain always, but I'm grateful. Honestly, I'm always in a lot of pain that a lot of you be like, oh my God, get a doctor. No, but I'm grateful and I'm on fire and I'm having things outside of my body that are visiting me, that are encouraging me to do these videos. So I had a YouTube video taken down. I don't know what the hell the rules are anymore. I didn't say anything that I thought was a violation. The last video was pretty straightforward. Didn't do anything that different from other videos that they keep up. So, you know, YouTube is playing and it's how you were designed. You were designed to be made to be played with here. You were playing with yourself. You were going to get played. You play an instrument, God damn it, and so is your body. When you go to work, you are playing with your instrument. They are called organs or church organs. Why is it different? You were looking at your lungs and your organs in there. When they push on the keys, the Florida Keys, guys, key to the city. Is there a keyhole here? Do I have some keyholes? What is keyhole, sir? I had keyhole surgery. What up, light bearer? AKA Lucifer Morningstar, my urine, phosphorus. CV is no subject again. Oh, pardon me. CV is a no subject again. Oh, did I mention CV? I probably did. Oh, thank you. It's okay. I'm not sorry. I'm grateful they took my video down. It means I'm doing something right. But here's the funny thing. They can't take it down. Once it is made, listen, YouTube, I'm going to help you out. We have a solar plexus. When it forms the body, the avatar stays. Now, when I'm dead, my name will still exist. You're all going to be legends. Someone's going to know who you were, guys, to document you in history. You ain't got to be famous, dude. You're already famous. Duh. Whenever you graduate, even if you just barely fucking graduated, you're Abraham Lincoln now, dude. George, you get it? You're LeBron James, sweetheart. Michael Jackson. No, that one. Gross. If you feel me? A pop star. You're in history. Someone's going to know your name and document that shit. This is why I want to know, why can't we document the bloodline of Moses that wrote the Bible to feel this so-called energy from God, to then just magically write a whole story that involved thousands of people? One person wrote this. What's your question, Empire? Of course. This is a great question that no one's ever asked, I believe, like this. I'd love to hear an answer for that. I'd love for someone to show me, actually show me God going through them and then writing a text. That would be cool. I've never seen that. I mean, I've seen people, the evangelist. Oh, okay. There's some truth to that, by the way, if you do it right. In India, they can do that. They can hover out of their body and look at themselves and go back in. If you worship Shiva a certain way. Okay, I believe that. Peter, it's all about build them and then. Of course, every building will have to be destroyed, yes or no? Am I crazy? The person who built it will one day pass away and will be destroyed, is my point. The inventor of the blueprint, although the building is still standing, has been destroyed because the creator of that building, or the one who designed it, has passed away. So, in a sense, that building has been destroyed, but also rebuilt when that construction worker dies. Do you understand me? That's real shit. I'm blowing your mind. I'm not from here. I'm thinking of out of the triangle, box, and circle questions, but they're pretty simple. Wouldn't the magnitude of Christ's impact through his life provide significant credibility of the Bible and its doctrine? Of course. Life, death, of course, and resurrection. But my question in this video, Empire, is who wrote his story? Who wrote the actual story about those three things? And why can't we have someone today of that bloodline write it again so we have a pure Bible with exactly what happened? They saw it happen, they knew the person, and they went through it, or they felt the God thing, whatever that means, and they have the thing, and they write that Bible today. This is my question, not about the message in the book, because it's all over the place. Like in Hinduism, 1 minute it's black, it's white, it's gray, it's yellow. You don't know what you're doing in these books. It's going to make you 1 minute think this, and then, oh, wait a minute, it says this. Light bearer, the tiny hats. Okay. What's a top hat? It's a dome question. Dome, Dominican Republic. What is a top hat but a dome with a flat disc and kind of a cube? Some are oval, but it's the Shiva Lingam. Okay. It's a symbol of Saturn, right? The cowboy hat. Okay. The rabbi's hat. Okay, we know this. But, oh yes, the stink bug is here. He just fell. I love these bugs. They always fall and bust their ass. They're the evil Knievel of insects, and they get right back up and fucking do it better than before. My God. And they buzz and shit and fly all awkward and bump into shit. They're like a rock that can fly. How they move, it's unbelievable. When I watch a fly and I watch a hornet, I say I watch this shit. Then I watch birds that are fully in control and can go even higher. Why? What's that about? Yeah, it's funny, right? Is that valuable to you before you look at a book and what that book might say? Are the things I'm saying, are they in the book? Yeah, they're called animals and insects are mentioned in there, right? I'd agree that the ancient Hebrews wrote the Bible, but they are not the same people that exist as rabbis today. Wonderful. What are their names? I want first and last names. I want the date and the year that they wrote it. That's it. Like everything else is documented. The Mahabharata, all of it's documented. I want the date and the year that they did that. That's all. I want to be able to look it up right now and find it. I should be able to Google that. And they're like, yes, it's so and so and so and so. This time, blah, 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 it was this month, whatever. There were witnesses. Great. Okay. Why not? It's a book, correct? With authors. Author, authority, Thor. Jupiter, it means the father in etymology. I'm asking you questions. I'm dancing with you with a bad leg. It's impossible? No, it's possible. I am moving without moving. So something supernatural or paranormal is also responsible for your books, is what I am saying. Something that is not looking like you can possibly manifest itself and inspire you to write something that is like monumental and has all these characters in it, different things and cultures in it. If they make Christ a carnal Christ, then tiny hats write their authority into our lives as the chosen people. What does it mean to be chosen? And is that a good thing? Part of me, I'm a bit stiff. I got to get out. Woo! Lord have mercy. Oh, yes. I'm working on this body. All right. Let it move. Don't worry, I have more questions for you. I've got very good questions for you still. You're going to love these questions. Oh, yes. All right. Don't worry, we're having an intermission. At the ballet, you have an intermission, don't you? Remember that? Some of you don't go to the ballet. You can't afford it. That's okay. It shouldn't be expensive. The ballet should be free. Every show that I ever did should have been for free. You should have just been like, oh, I want to see what that is. You shouldn't have to pay money to see me dance in tights and spin around without saying words. Here's another great question. Right? Dancing should be for free. Movies too. Go to the movies. Great. Why am I paying to go see another human being act as somebody else? It's me on screen. It's you guys. It's a good damn question. And the projector is quiet, but then it can make these bodies speak English or a foreign language from a projector. Here's my other question. Why is chewing tobacco a healthier option from smoking it? If you look it up right now, and some people get lucky with smoking and doing this shit and it doesn't affect them, so I'm not promoting smoking, guys. But I have a lot of pain and tobacco actually helps. The nicotine and all this shit, yes, there's an addiction there, of course, and issues with like needing it. Detaching is bullshit too. If Buddha really was about detaching himself or herself, it was a real Buddha, he wouldn't have any followers near him. Do you understand me? He left his family, his mother, the mother of his child, in the middle of the night to go to the forest, to be left alone, and to, suffer and be with nature and the people on the street, right? Am I right? But then he gets people that want to ask him questions and he starts talking back to them. Would that be an attachment? Shouldn't he have been like, nah, I'm sorry, I'm in a state of nirvana. Please leave me alone. You find your own way. I'm good. I don't want anyone around me. That's detachment. Am I crazy? To separate yourself from other people. Buddha had disciples. Fact. There's a female version of Buddha known as Guan Yin doing the same thing, healing humans. She didn't detach. She healed the sick people, apparently. She's solely for those that are sick and dying. Buddhist, that is not detachment. That is being attached to other creatures and creations and wanting to help them. So, was the Buddha forced to care about people and speak his doctrine, apparently? Then he wasn't detached. Okay, it's black and white. They wrote themselves into the scriptures. A story made with all the best ingredients. The 4 Gospels were written 500 years after Christ. Are Christ and Jesus the same thing? One who is anointed, right? What it means to be anointed, to be chosen. Okay. So the person who wrote the Bible, these humans, were they Jesus Christ on earth? They were chosen, they were anointed, right? But not you. You have to go learn it again, go in the building, pray, all the stuff, and read it again, Okay, I get it. Whatever religion it is. All these are good questions. You gotta do it all over again. You have amnesia, but it's about you. Your creation. You're already the Bible, the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, the Buddhist texts. You're all of this stuff because it's all about human nature and how to be on earth. Am I right or wrong, guys? It's not about how a fucking tiger should be living. It's not talking to lions and elephants and saying, hey, elephants, you have to meditate. And no, gorillas, a honeybee, fish. They don't really acknowledge the animals, right? They're talking to you, really, I believe. I would imagine, right? To get better or to get enlightened. Am I crazy? Not the crow. I am a genius. I think like children. This is a good point, yes or no? How come a dog doesn't need to be told what to do to find and sniff where to doo-doo and all this stuff and know another dog and how they interact and shit and sniff and how do they know all that? They can hear a dog whistle, but you can't. So you're limited. Your dog has a higher octave somewhere in the brain that can hear a pitch you can't get. But you walk on 2 feet and are the most high, so-called. Is the Bible speaking to dogs and cats and how they should be living? Or is it speaking to the human creation and then there's man and then Adam and Eve and it wasn't a parakeet and a piranha? Okay. Once again, 2 human creations. What bloodline were they? Adam and Eve? And there's my hero, the stink bug, climbing that wall. It's going to fall again and do it again. Do you want to see my hero? Do you want to see why I'm good at truth? Why I'm so good at this? And also, these things help me manifest light orbs. So I'm going to show you who it is. Before it falls. Let's see if you can see this. Can you see that bug? Okay. Did you all see that bug? Empire. I'd speculate that the original authors of the Bible probably made vows of celibacy and couldn't have descendants beyond their deaths. Great. Well, what are their names? That's all. That's great. That's a good point. But why must you be celibate in order to be the way? No one here has the talent to have a virgin birth, right? Show me a female right now get pregnant without no one, getting up in there or artificially inseminating her. Show me a female. I'm sure there's some out there, but most of you need another thing in there. So there's no virgin births happening lately. So apparently we're supposed to procreate, or if you don't want to, I get it. I have no judgments here. I get it. Okay. The Hebrew texts. Yeah, that's cool. But who wrote it? Who wrote these texts, my dudes and dudettes? Or if you're a they. Okay. Who wrote? What are their names? Right? We don't know. This is the problem, is that we say this kind of stuff, but we don't know their names. You know what I'm saying? To then document them in history, to know who they were, to give them credit, which is respect. Is it not? Okay, so now you're going into a room, into a building with a book that has been written, again, a new version by another human. Well, what's that process like? Do they have to get touched by God to do it? To have permission? Because Moses had that. Do you have that ability? To channel the Spirit through you, the Holy Spirit? Okay. And then all of a sudden you can see my whole life and you knew exactly what I was doing from a baby. Even in the womb, you knew what I was doing. All the way up to now as Roseanne or Jay. Can you do that? Not many of you. It's okay. If you're a street hustler, magician, in cold readings, and you do a little voodoo, okay. But no, most of you don't do that, right? You have to have someone tell you something, and then you write it down, or you see it, you write it down, And they're like, this is the person who wrote it. Da, 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 da. But when the Bible, it's like, whoop, question mark. It's so up, whoop, it's like, okay. Focusing on the stories distract us from focusing on their heavenly bodies. Yes, of course. What do I do with my phone? Uh-huh. And speaking of heavenly bodies, I'm going to end this one earlier because I'm tired and with my pain, I need to, chill out. But I just wanted to sort of, wrap with y'all about just simple questions. You know what I mean? Like too much truth, and a lot of stress. What is a heavenly body?
Durga. A light orb will appear. Bold questions. Why not? If I am Parvati, a light orb will appear.
Well, it's too faint. Sorry, guys, it's the lighting.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
And hold on, I'm gonna try one more time. I have it down below too, but it's the lighting.
Bold questions.
I love you back.
If I am Parvati, a light orb will appear.
There it is. Did you see that? It came through the wall from a different dimension. That's forever, man. It doesn't matter what I do now. If I'm right or wrong, if I'm good or bad, I've made something that doesn't give a shit about that. And if I talk the right shit, I could have nothing in my body whatsoever. I've hit something in my own way that a lot of people don't have evidence of, that are mentioned in your sacred texts, in which you're given all these rules of how to behave and what to do. You don't know that until you actually experience it yourself and become the actual, let's just say, person that has the evidence of what God or religion is. So when you die, you're all going to look like that. Okay? What else do you need to see? Is your mind not blown by that one? Parvati, the wife of Shiva, daughter of the mountain. And I don't have any bloodlines to the yogis, or do I? Am I just from Boston? Another video. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shiva Shakti, Om, my chat room. Om, Ram, Rim, Ram, Saha, Suya, Yanamaha, Om, Chandra, Yanama, Om, Ahum, Vajra Guru paid my city. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Hallelujah, Allahu Akbar, atheist nothing. And share this because it asks questions and you need answers.